Good day, everyone. Thanks for joining us here in the charts. Tune into the Market Beast Edition. Fellow compadres speaking, and today we'll be exploring the CCIV Churchill Capital Corp instrument, and I think I found something on the chart that should be worth mentioning. We've actually covered this before. We're going to revisit a previous video if you're new here, just to kind of credentials check. And loyal subscribers, welcome back. Let's see what we have here on the menu. I'm also going to go over a line that the market needs to get above in order for the buyers to regain control of this market. They do have control of this market. I'm going to get into more details about that. And we also have a projection cone that I'm going to reveal to those who are just stopping in. So yeah, let's not waste time, guys. Let's dive right into the charts here, shall we? All right, so today's March the 28th, 2021, and the previous close of CCIV is going to be $23.02. It closed negative approximately 4.2% for the day. Okay. All right, hopefully everyone's doing well. Welcome back, everyone. ASMR, interesting analysis. Here's the lines, guys. All right, that's it. Really simple. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at a projection cone. These are not easy place to understand the projection cone because they're so tight. And then when they break out, notice it actually broke above the projection cone. The projection cone created a reversal candle, and that catastrophic move to the downside caught a lot of investors off guard. Now, this red line represents the level that the price needs to get above for the buyers to regain some sort of control in the market. And I kind of use that regain control term very loosely because this market it's not in an uptrend, or it's just kind of blasting off, right? It's in a blast off trajectory, I guess you can call it that, because if we go back in time, we've already went over this on like our first video, but I'll just kind of go over it briefly. This market had a very interesting area where it consolidated down here. And I mean, ever since consolidating down here back in like September 18, 2020, and then the actual breakout, yeah, the rest is history. I mean, it's just completely obliterating higher levels as if they were never there. So I just kind of bring that up to your attention because on the channel, we focus on higher highs and higher lows. And the reason that I say I use the term loosely, that this market is still, this range here is a higher low. Okay, that's all we look for on the charts here. Higher highs, higher lows, and of course, support, resistance, and patterns. And technically speaking, although this move here is very catastrophic, this move that happened in the market on this 3-day candle at about February the 22nd, this is just a move in the market that needs to be replenished by the buyers, okay? It's a very intentional, aggressive move, and I think right now what's going on is basically consolidation sideways, and the market is just trying to build up the necessary momentum to re-challenge the first level, which is, again, at about $34.90, okay? Excuse me, if you know what you're doing, I think there's a lot of capital to be made in your portfolio, because I think from the current level up to that red line is like 50%. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure this instrument has options available. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys know what you're doing, you can really capitalize on this market. So what I'm going to say is it experienced a 3-day. So these are the 3-day candles. You guys know I look for patterns, right? So if you notice here, this is kind of like a 3-day move down, and then you got like a 2-day move up. So the pattern to me would suggest that if it continues, let me see here, guys. And it's like it's such a small reference. It's not even funny, guys. Please don't enter the market based on this. Please have a strategy readily available before you hit that buy button. And this is also a developing candle, by the way. It has about 1 day and 17 hours to close. So essentially, there's going to be a new candle to open on March the 31st, 2021. I think tomorrow is going to be Monday. So we'll have 2 more market days of developing on this candle that I just pointed out. So yeah, it's a developing candle, guys. So anything can happen. It could continue lower, or of course it can go up. But according to the pattern here, it will likely close as a negative candle, or whether it closes as a negative candle or not, it's going to close that candle and potentially have a 2 3-day candles move up. Again, we're only going from like one reference point, guys. So, but I do the best that I can to find like patterns, okay? So that's what we're looking at right here, where you have a 3 days it goes down, and then of course you have 2 days it goes up, 3 days potentially goes down, and then after it goes down, of course, maybe you have a 2 days where it goes up. That was kind of messy there. So that's all I'm looking at. It appears that the sellers have an obligation right now. The seller's obligation is to make a lower low. I know that may not have been the ideal reference as far as like the 3 days, but the candlesticks in terms of the higher highs and higher lows can't be changed. Okay, this is a low in the price right here. If I put a line on the chart, and let's just kind of put a line like right about there. Those are the candles bodies. Now, if we look closely, you'll notice that the 3-day candle actually closed below that level. That's not an ideal setup. So even though I said there's like a 3-day move down and then a 2-day move up, right now it appears that the sellers have a little bit more of an interest in this market. And I'm not saying that just because it closed red. I'm saying that because of the candles bodies, it closed below this level, and that's how we determine whether or not there's been an official break below or above a specific level. In this case, it's below. It closed below the $24.28. So over the course of the next 2 days, okay, 48 hours, if you see the price activity getting back up to and possibly through the $24.28 level, then it's likely that the buyers are pushing back from the sellers, trying to get the price back above the level that was a previous level of support, just to kind of get it back above that level too. Of course, just fight off the sellers, like, hey man, back off the price. Okay, remember guys, it's just a story between the buyers and the sellers. Okay, that's all I look at. Okay, and of course, when I go over these levels, guys, it's never to kind of bash the news or anything. I'd love for you to use this in conjunction with whatever is going on with the news, you know, especially when I have like dates and things like of that nature. I don't really have a date for this. Other than what we've already gone over, we need to give the market at least 48 hours. Remember, there's buyers and sellers. So if the buyers are in this market and they're protecting this relative range down here just below $24, let's just do something like this, because what we do is we look for the wicks below the candle's bodies. Okay, so it appears that there are wicks below the candle's bodies, and that's an indication that the buyers are pushing the price up. Okay, every time the market goes down, they just push it up. Now the trick is understanding whether or not there's a sufficient amount of buying power to hold the price up, because even though you see a wick below the candle's body, that doesn't necessarily mean that there is enough financial support in this market to keep the price up, because buyers in the market are the same thing as just as yourself and myself, right? We enter the market, we place our positions in the market, whether it's against the market or, of course, to hold up the markets. In this case, it would be to hold up the markets. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the players on the other side of this market this doesn't mean that we'll have enough buying interest in this market to actually push the price up, okay? Because the sellers on the other side of the market, maybe they have a significant amount of selling pressure in this market that'll just simply cause a small bleep in the scale, and we just kind of push it up like $1 or $2, and it just kind of continues to the downside because there's more selling interest in the market than buying interest in the market. And in this case, the way that we'll know whether or not there's more selling interest in this market is that it'll stay below the previous level of support right here that I've just verified on the 3-day candles bodies. Okay, that's how I understand support lines. Okay, and that's with any time frame. Okay, just look for the candles bodies to figure out where the support or the resistance levels are. In this case, it's the support level, potential support that it appears the market has compromised here in the short term. But let's give this market at least 48 hours. Again, you have the level that it needs to close above. So I guess we do have a time, 48 hours. If it can close back above, let's see, 24, 28, that's an interesting sign. Or if it at least closes like a green candle, right, that would be an indication that the buyers are stepping into the market. And it's likely over the towards the end of the week, we can get a nice push to the upside to fulfill the buyer's obligation. The buyer's obligation is the same, guys. It needs to get above 34.90. That's the most crucial level. Like all this price activity up and down, if it's up like 10%, hey, Napoleon, it's going up, you were wrong. No. It needs to get above 34.90. That is the line that the market needs to get above in order for the buyers to have regain control of this market. And again, I say regain control. I use that term very loosely because the market has potentially made a higher low. So it's not necessarily the buyers regaining control. The buyers do have control of this market as long as it's a relative higher low that we can measure on the chart, right? So it's perfectly fine. I don't see any real imminent sign of downwards pressure just yet. Let's at least give the buyers an opportunity to make a counter push in this market. I think that would take place over the course of the next week or two to potentially try and challenge again the $34.90. But I think it's in the best interest of the buyers, before they re-challenge this overhead level to at least gather up enough necessary momentum before they re-challenge this overhead target. So I'm telling you, there's an immense amount of sell pressure in this market. Guys, I look at candles every single day, and I can assure you, this is not just some flimsy sell wall that you should say, oh, no, yeah. They can't push the markets down. Yeah, this is a very aggressive sell wall candle that should not be taken lightly. The market needs to be replenished from this sell wall candle that extends all the way up to $63.20 and as low as $27.85. The market needs time to consolidate sideways. If I had to just kind of put a time frame, let's just say 41 days. So let's just say that the market has already started consolidating within this range, okay? We're looking for 41 days. So I guess we do have, I said we didn't even have a date. So let's extend it over until April the 9th, 2021. If the market can consolidate, find a confined range and stop going down, maybe the market still has a little bit more downwards pressure. Guys, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to leave you out with this date and we'll close it out. Thank you for your time. I think I said April the 9th, guys. As long as you can stay within this relative range, let's just say the bleeding is, or the downwards pressure has ceased for now. We're talking $22.49 all the way up to $30.97. If it can stay within this relative range by April the 9th, we should see a breakout attempt. Remember, breakout consists of either direction. Break out to the upside or break out to the downside. Okay, just be prepared, guys. Have a strategy. Implement your strategies. Know your strategies before you hit those buy buttons. Okay. And that's it. We'll close it out here. Hopefully this was enough information. Hopefully this was useful. Leave an appropriate thumb just below the video there if you enjoyed the content. If there was any valuable information, we'd love for you guys to support us with a YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment, and a thumb that helps out. So also before you go, if you're new, we'd love to send you additional information pertaining to the alternative markets. If you're into Bitcoin and altcoins, we'd love to send you that throughout the week as we go over that. So subscribe, of course, hit the bell, and that you'll be ready to go, and we'll be ready to send you that, okay? So that's it, guys. Take care of yourselves. Protect your portfolio. Execute your strategies. Most important, we're going to talk soon, and bye for now.